Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Toya Cole and I am here finally, after so much time, delivering my first YouTube video. Super excited. I have so much to talk about, so much to document, so much to just share with you all, and I am just floored with how much content that I know I'm about to put out. So, with that being said, if you have not subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe and make sure you hit the notification bell so you do not miss anything. Okay? So, let's dive right in. Let's go ahead and get started. So, you can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to talk to you all about how I quit my 9 to 5. It really wasn't even a 9 to 5, it was more like a 7 to 6. But let's talk about it. Like, oh my God. So, many of you know, prior to me diving into my new career, I was a former educator, right? So I taught for some years. I then transitioned into an assistant principal position. And then my last position before leaving that organization was a regional literacy coach. And man, I was just, those last 2 years of being with this organization has been the most two stressful years of my life. I spent so much time giving so much of my energy to that job that I felt like I was missing out on, doing things with my kids. That was the most important thing. I feel like I was making sacrifices to dedicate so much hard work to this organization that I had to make some difficult choices. And one of those choices was, there was a time where I had to leave my son with family members back in Mississippi. And it was the hardest thing I ever had to do because, no parent wants to be, no parent who actually wants to be a parent, spends that much time away from their child. And that was just like, I told myself, I'm not going to allow myself to be in that position again. And I didn't care what it was that I needed to do, but I needed to do something different. So knowing that I wanted to, my kids are young, so I definitely wanted to make sure that I'm not wasting any more time with them. I want to do so many things with my kids. I want to explore, travel, teach my kids, be there for them, go to school events. I want to be involved in my kids' upbringing, their school life, everything, and there was a benefit of my daughter going to the same school that I worked at because, I could just go downstairs, check on her. I knew all of the teachers. I knew all of the staff on campus. So everybody knew me. It was easier to track her. But at the same time, when events were happening at school, maybe during the day, it was still hard for me to go in as her parent or go be a part of that. And I felt like I was just always admin. I was always an administrator. And it was just kind of hard and difficult to just be my child's parent at the school. So, mind you, it was a lot of challenges. And then my son's daycare, when he was here, his daycare closes at 5. Daycares are closing earlier. These people are like, I want to go home too. So being at a job where you there every single day, you have an expectation to be there at 7 o'clock in the morning, and then I don't get home, I have to tell them I gotta go. I gotta get my son. Daycare closes at 5, so I'm checking out of there by 4:45 to get to him on time. But he's still the last kid there. And then on top of that, it was now my coworkers are feeling a type of way because I'm leaving work early. And, they're not leaving until 6, 7 o'clock. And now it's falling back on me like I'm not a team player because, I don't have family here. I don't have that support system here to call up a sister or call up a cousin to go pick up my child. I don't have that luxury. So I'm a single parent. It is what it is. I'm going to put my kids first, period. So it just became a hassle and a headache and so many things that I was just like, you know what, something's got to give. And I want to do something with my life that makes me happy. And so, back in September of 2022, I decided to start studying for my real estate license. And I knew that, it wasn't something that just came out and about randomly. It was something that I always wanted to pursue. Even when I was getting ready to go to college, I told my mom, I was like, hey, I want to be an interior designer. But my mom was like, that ain't no real career. Like, you don't get, stable money or whatever. She was just like, you need to go get a college degree and all this other stuff. Well, of course, I'm young. I'm listening to my parents. So I didn't really get to pursue what I wanted to pursue in life. And I've had this conversation with my mom, and I told her, and so not to put her on blast, but she's definitely making better choices when it comes to my younger brother, as far as like, allowing him to make the choice of what he wants to do with his life and, what he wants to go to college for. So that's a positive that came out of that, is that, what she couldn't, or what she felt like she didn't do right with me, she's able to make up with that for him. So it is what it is. As parents, we don't always get it right, and we learn from that and we grow from that, and that's just what it is. And so I want to make sure that I provide that presence in my own children's life and ensure that I allow them to make the choices, guiding them, to make right choices, but instilling in them the values and things that are essential to be, decent human beings in this world. And we live in a very difficult and tough world. So I'm not going to always be there with them when they make a decision. So my goal is to be more of a present parent and, have conversations and instill in them these things so that when they are by themselves and they have to make a decision, they're making the best decision. So a lot of my choices of deciding to leave this, y'all say 9 to 5, but I'm going to still say 7 to 6 because that's how I was working. So my 7 to 6, like, I needed more. I needed more flexibility. I needed more time with my family. I needed a peace of mind. I just needed time to live the life that I want to live, for one, and have time to do so. I felt like I was missing so many things because I didn't have a regular education job. Like, I had expectations where some Saturdays I was expected to work. And of course, being an administrator, I don't get the whole summer off. So, that meant I still needed to work during the summertime, or I still needed to attend trainings, or, there's still things that I felt like I just never had time to myself. And then on top of that, I'm already working 7 to 6, but when I get home, I'm still having an expectation to work. I'm still getting calls and text messages. Oh, we need this, we need to do this, we need to do that. And it was like, there was just no respect for my personal time. And it was stressful. It was very stressful. And like, don't even get me started on the behaviors of the kids, right? So, the good thing is when you build a relationship with a kid, they respect you, they'll pretty much listen to you. So my issue wasn't with the kids directly, because I build a good rapport with kids. It is what it is. Like, I love kids, even if the challenging ones. But where the challenges came in the most in my previous job was just like, as an administrator, my job is to manage adults, right? So with those adults, let's just name what it is. Like, people don't want to work. People don't want to go 100% of they don't want to do what it takes to be the top of the best. Like, they don't have the mindset to be the best of the best. Like, they just, I don't know how to put it. Like, it's just a different world, because pre-COVID, I know, like, people worked hard. People, were go-getters. And not saying that people aren't now, but the go-getters are mainly the entrepreneurs. But, like, people in these regular jobs, they not really going hard. And that was a part of the problem. It was like, come in, teachers didn't want to be there. They didn't want to deal with the kids. They didn't want to, put all this emphasis on the curriculum. They just didn't want to be there. And on top of that, that was a reflection of the kids are now acting out because there's no true structure in the classroom. And then the teachers are now frustrated because the kids are acting out and they don't have control over their class. No, no management, no structure. And so now it falls back on us, admin. Can you step in? Can you take this kid? Can you, and it just, the school that I was working for, we didn't have a true ISS, in school suspension system. So like when kids were removed from the classroom, guess where they ended up? With us. Like following us around, sitting in a room with us. Like it was just, I felt like I was just like running a daycare of adults and running a daycare of children. And it was just like, I was like, what am I doing? What am I doing? I'm literally wasting so much time being here, doing this. Like, I'm not happy. Like, it's just, none of this is what I signed up for. None of this is just, why I got into this. I got into this because I wanted to make a difference one child at a time. And I can do that, but it can't just be me. Like, I have to have a strong team behind me, and I have to have people who actually want to do the work, no matter how difficult it is. And that wasn't the case. And so I knew my time was coming. So like I was saying, back in September of 2022, I decided to start studying for my real estate exam. I studied, for that. But then I kind of slowed down a little bit because another position became available, and I knew my love was for the curriculum. I love ELA. I love writing. I love reading. Like, I could write a whole curriculum if I wanted to, because that's how much I love reading and writing. But so the position, came up as a regional literacy coach. So that job entailed me to just go in the classrooms and coach teachers on strictly the curriculum. I didn't have to deal with managing, them or the kids or anything like that. So I thought, and it was just me going in the classroom, observing, giving feedback to teachers, giving feedback to the principals, the administration on campus about, what to implement in their classrooms to go to the next level, whatever the case may be. That was what my job description was. But because that first half of the school year, I was an administrator, I was assistant principal, I still worked for that campus and the other campus. And so kids still looked at me as assistant principal. The teachers still looked at me as an assistant principal. I still dealt with discipline. I still, was doing all the things I was doing as an assistant principal on top of my regional literacy coach duties. And so with this regional literacy coach, it allowed me more flexibility. I was traveling between the campuses, and, I was able to go get my children on time. I was just more flexible. It was just a more flexible schedule. And, I felt like my coworkers saw this flexibility that I had, and, sometimes they, in my opinion, felt the type of way because I wasn't there as much as I used to be now. And it was like when I came there, nobody told me like, oh, you need to do these things. It was something that I volunteered to do because I know the stress of what it is as an administrator dealing with all of this. So I was just volunteering to keep helping and keep supporting on the campus. But then it just like became OD. Like, one of my counterparts always traveling, always going out of town. And then, would still have this expectation I would step in and support. And it was just like, I don't mind stepping in and support, but like, girl, you going every week. And so live your life, but don't count on me, because again, my reasoning for going to this position is so I can focus on what I love, which was the curriculum, and have flexibility. And I don't want to be tied down to a campus. That's not what I want. And so things definitely started to shift. They definitely started to shift, and I was just like, I gotta go back hard. So I had started that position, the regional literacy coach position, in January. And, time went on. And I was like, okay, I don't know if I'm going to keep doing this. I don't know if I'm still in this phase of like, I really just need to keep working hard to transition out of this altogether. So I kept studying, and then eventually I took my real estate license. I took my real estate license in May of 2023, so last month, from when I'm making this video. And I passed it on the first time, and I'm very thankful for that. That was one of the most difficult tests I have ever taken in my life. But I passed it first time and got my real estate license. And then 2 days later, I started working at a brokerage. I started training, and from there, I've just been like full force going. And I have no regrets. I have zero regrets leaving my previous job. I have zero regrets because that's how unhappy I was. That's how much I wanted freedom, flexibility, financial freedom. And don't get me wrong, this journey still isn't easy itself. It isn't like I'm just out here just selling all these $1 million homes right now. But I see the success that I've already made in the month that I've already been doing this. So I was able to go under contract on my first home within 19 days of becoming a real estate agent. And I'm actually currently working on a deal right now, so I could be going under contract again in the next few days. Hopefully today, because I'm showing a property today. But I say that to say, people who typically start off in real estate, they don't really see profit within like the first 3 to 6 months. And here I am 19 days in, already under contract for a property. I'm closing in July. So I like literally I'm going hard. I'm doing what I need to do to set myself up for success, to make sure my kids never want or need for anything, that we never have to depend on anybody. Sometimes those are the risks that you have to take. And that's why I decided to quit my 7 to 6, because it just wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth the stress. It wasn't worth the headache. It wasn't worth somebody else constantly telling me what to do and then feeling like my personal time is still their time because I'm salary. Like, I just was completely over that. And one thing about me is I'm very strong-minded. I'm very just independent, and I'm a go-getter. So it's only so many times I'm gonna sit up there and let somebody tell me what I gotta do, because at the end of the day, I don't gotta be here. Y'all need me. Like, yeah, I need y'all checks, but I can go get a check from somewhere else. So it really wasn't that deep for me. I'm very talented. I'm gifted. There's many things that I can do. I've done several entrepreneur things throughout my time, and one thing about it is I'm always bounce back. So, and that's just, and I'm not saying that in a cocky way, but I'm just saying, like, people have to realize their purpose. They have to realize that there's things that you can do. And if you're talented and you're gifted in something, go for it. And that's just kind of always been my mindset. My mom has always told me, you can do whatever it is that you want to do. Even at the time, she didn't let me be an interior designer. Hopefully she don't see this video. But even then, after that, she realized, like, hey, you can do whatever it is that you want to do. You just got to work hard at it. And her biggest thing is she just wants me to be somewhere where there's stability. I think my mom's just one of those people who just, like, you need to have health insurance. Yes, I do need to have all of those things. And she just feel like with entrepreneurship, like, you don't get those. And you do, but, I mean, you got to pay for it, out of your own pocket. And even when you're in a W-2 situation, like, you still pay for it. It gets taken out of your check before you see your check. So that's just the difference. Like, everything's going to be fine. I'm doing it. One thing about it is it's your mindset. And I'll make a separate video all about mindset, because it took me a while to get here. I used to think everything was everybody else's fault. I was always blaming, like, oh, well, you did this, and this is why I'm in this situation. And it's like, no, you have to take accountability of the fact that, maybe you let this person do this. Like, it's on you. Like, everything that happened is you and your decisions and your choices and what you allow. And so my mindset definitely had to change. And that's where I'm at. Like, I'm just in a very positive place in my life. I don't have time for negativity. I choose not to go back and forth with anyone. I'm really in a really happy place. I'm still growing. I'm not perfect, but I'm definitely learning to just bet on me every time and don't rely on nobody else. And so it was very difficult for me, leaving a household with 2 incomes, and now in this household where, my kids depend on my income alone, and I don't get a support from, anybody that should be supporting them with me. But it is what it is. It's no shade to anybody. My kids didn't ask to be here. So as their mom, who's always going to be there, who's always going to protect them, I'm going to make sure that I give them everything they need and want. And that's what I'm doing. So I took this leap of faith, and I'm trusting in God, and He is not letting me down by any means. And I am going to document this journey. And so this is my very first video, but I promise you, I have so much to talk about. And the thing about my platform is all this content isn't going to just be real estate. It's going to be my life as a real estate agent, but I'm also going to just dive deep into just like betting on you, counting on you, share stories about things that I've been through, because I feel like I've gone through so much, and it's been plenty of nights where I've sat in my bed and I cried. It's been plenty of times I pulled up in my garage and I just sat in the car for a minute and had a moment to myself. I'm human. We're all human. Things happen. And so I just feel like I'm in a place now where I need to use my voice, because I feel like, and it's funny to me because when I always talk to my friends or we're catching up or something, one of my really good friends is like, oh my God, I'm just living through you. She's just like, you just have this beautiful life. And I'm always just like, trust me, things aren't always what they seem. And I don't go into details just because it's just like, I don't feel the need to share anything with everybody. But, you know, she's one of my really good friends, so sometimes I share things. But I'm just like, you know what, why not? Why not share the struggles, you know, with the world? Because I don't know who my voice could help, because it's been so many times where I wish there was a voice to help me. And so that's what I'm here for. So that's what this channel is all about. I definitely don't want you guys to miss out on everything that I have to say and, you know, show you. But I definitely want you all to just kind of go on this journey with me. I'm documenting this. Like I said, I've only been in real estate for a month now, and like a little bit over a month, and I'm really excited to see where my future is headed and what all God has in store for me. So I'm not going to take up too much of your time. That's pretty much it, and why I quit my 9 or my 6 or my 7 to 6. So yeah, go ahead and like this video, subscribe, and again, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. I'll see you all in my next video. Thanks for listening.